Gurave Gaurachandraya Radhikayai Tadalaya Krishnaya Krishna Vaksaya Tadavaktaya Namo Namaha Vandeham Sri Guru Sri Yotavata Kamalam Sri Guru Vaishnavasya Sri Rupam Sagrajatam Sahagana Raghunathan Vitantam Sajivam Sadaitam Savadotam Parijana Saitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Sri Radha Krishna Padan Sahagana Lalita Sri Vishakanvidamsha He Krishna Karuna Sindhu Dinabandhu Jagatpade Gopesha Gopika Kanta Radha Kanta Namastade Tatta Kanchana Gaudangi Radhe Vrindavaneshwari Vrishabhanu Sade Devi Pranamami Hari Priya Vanchakalpatrabhyascha kripa sindhubhyahe vacha Paditanam pavanebhyo vaishnavebhyo namo namaha Sri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Shivasari Gaura Bhaktivinoda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ramo 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 Hare Hare. Reading from Javadharma, Srila Bhaktivinoda Thakur, Chapter 8, Nitya Dharma and Vaishnava Behavior. Nityananda Das is asking Haridas Babaji about the symptoms of a Madhyamadikari. So Nityananda Prabhu was asking if Madhyamadikari, he can still commit sins or offenses. Babaji is explaining that in the beginning, the tendency to commit sin may still be there, offenses, but it will gradually disappear. Nityananda Das. Does the Madhyam Bhakta have any trace of karma, jnana or extraneous desire? Babaji. In the initial stages, a faint trace of these things may remain, but finally they are uprooted. Whatever vestiges of karma and jnana remain in the beginning of the Madhyam stage occasionally make themselves visible, yet these gradually fade into oblivion. Hey Sajan, इसको थोड़ा फोन बात कीजिए. Nityananda Das, do such bhaktas even desire to live, and if so, why? Babaji, actually they have no desire to live or die or to attain liberation. They desire to live only to attain consummation of their bhajan. Nityananda Das. But why don't they long for that? What happiness can come from remaining in this gross material body? When they die, they will not obtain their spiritual forms and identities by Krishna's mercy. Babaji, they have no independent desires. All their desires are solely dependent on Krishna's will, because they are firmly convinced that everything is happening by His will, and that whatever happens is only because of His desire. They have therefore no need to aspire for anything independently. So devotee is completely dependent on Krishna. And Yabhilashida sunyam jnana karvanavritam anukalina Krishna nushiranam bhaktirottamam You know this verse by heart? You know? No? Good verse to learn for Bhakti Rasamrita Sindhu. So this is from the first chapter of the first part of Bhakti Rasamrita Sindhu, text number 11. So the definition of bhakti, Anyavilashita Shonyam Jnanam Karanavritam. So the devotional service of the devotee, it is not covered by the desire for accumulating knowledge or for gaining something of this world. Jnana and karma. And anyavilashita. So there is no desire at all, not even the slightest, except anukulina Krishna anushilanam bhaktiruttamam. Anukul. Krishna anushilanam. So they're desiring Krishna's satisfaction. And they're doing not what they want even in their spiritual life, but what Krishna wants. Krishna anushilanam. Anukul, and it is favorable. What Krishna wants. So that is Uttam Bhakti. So, Nadanam na janam na sundarim kavitam va jagadish kamaye mama janmani janmanishwari bhavadat bhakti rahituki tvai. Like here asking why they don't long for that. Why they should long for that, the devotee? They are always ready to serve. Nadanam na janam na sundarim. And they don't desire any wealth, any followers, beautiful woman, to be recognized as a scholar. And even they don't desire liberation. But they simply desire to be engaged in Krishna's service, to serve Krishna for Krishna's satisfaction. Janmani, Janmani, birth after birth. They don't mind to take birth. If Krishna wants me to take birth in this world, let me take birth. And let me go to hell. If Krishna wants me to go to hell, let me go to hell. And so some preaching maybe to be done or some seva, I will go. So that is the explanation of, so even the Madhyamadikari who is firmly fixed. Nityananda Das, I've understood the symptoms of the Madhyamadikari. Now please tell me about the secondary symptoms of Uttam Bhakti, of the Uttamadikari. So primary and secondary symptoms he wants to know. First the secondary. Babaji, the secondary symptoms are the bodily activities. But even these cannot actually be viewed separately as secondary symptoms because they are so much under the control of prem, which is beyond all influence of this, of the material modes. So, secondary symptoms are the bodily activity of a devotee. Even those who are highly advanced. So the body is engaged in Krishna seva. But here, so Babaji is explaining that we may not even see these as secondary because they are so much absorbed in prem. So one who is highly advanced, Uttamadikari, so is always on the spiritual platform. And there is a relationship with Krishna and is loving exchange with Krishna. And is absorbed in thinking about Krishna, speaking about Krishna. And then the body is just in this world functioning, so, and But it is not on the modes of material nature, this is the point here. So therefore, so even although they may be sometimes express the symptom of a sadhaka, of a practicing devotee in this world, but all their activities are spiritual. So even so, when they feel themselves as insignificant, as an insignificant sadhaka, and then they're following the principles of devotional service. So, but because they're absorbed in Krishna consciousness, even these external activities, they are free from the modes of material nature. So we have to go to the bathroom and pass water. And even usually once a day in the morning we pass stool also. So these are, but then one has to then take bath. And so this is actually not any kind of practical devotional activity. But it is a necessity of the body. But then one is taking bath, and so it is not directly serving Krishna, so the body, but the consciousness is absorbed. And they're thinking about Krishna while taking bath and putting on the cloth. So they're absorbed in consciousness. And then, so externally, so they are doing their duty, but it is beyond the modes of material nature. So, but they appear to be in this world and act just like people of this world. But they are always transcendently situated. So that we have to understand. Nityananda Das. Prabhu, there is no provision in Shastra for the Kanishta Adhikaris to renounce household life, and Madhyam Adhikaris may live either as householders or renunciants. Is it possible that some Uttam Adhikari may live as householders? Babaji. One's level of eligibility cannot be determined by whether one is a householder or a renunciant. The only criterion is one's advancement in bhakti. There is certainly no harm if an Uttamadhikari bhakta remains a householder. All the Grihastha Bhaktas of Braj were Uttamadhikaris. Many Grihastha Bhaktas of our Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu were Uttamadhikaris. Rai Ramananda is the foremost example of this. So the main characteristic of a devotee is his devotional activities. And then, so it may be in any situation of this world. Mahaprabhu also told, Kipa Vipra Kibanasi Shunakainai Yai Krishna Tattvavita Say Guru Hai. He may be a Brahmana, Nyasi, Sannyasi, Shudra Keninai, but he may also be a Shudra, externally speaking. But Yai Krishna Tattvavita Say Guru Hai, but if he knows the science of Krishna, if he is absorbed in Krishna consciousness, then he may be a spiritual master also. So Shudra usually they are married. And so externally from the point of view of Varnashram, so they are lower than the others, the Vaishya, Kshatriya and Brahmanas. But if they have attained pure devotional service, then this distinction should not be made, that they are Shudra or they are householder. No. Pure devotee is a pure devotee, whatever his external situation is there. And so, and that is seen in the pastimes of Mahaprabhu. Exalted Vigrahasas are there also. And in Krishna's Leela, Krishna's devotees are there, his associates, and many of them are also householders. So that is very clear. Nityananda Das, Prabhu, if an Uttamadikari Bhakta is a Grihastha and a Madhyamadikari Bhakta is in a renounced order, how should they behave towards each other? Babaji, the person who is less qualified should offer Dandava Pranam to the person who is more qualified. This stipulation is only for the benefit of the Madhyamadikari, because the Uttamadikari Bhakta does not expect respect from anyone. In all living beings, he sees the presence of Bhagavan. So those who is less advanced, so he has to respect others, that is clear. Nityananda Das, should one bring many Vaishnavas together and hold festivals for distributing Bhagavad Prasad? Babaji, from the spiritual point of view, there is no objection if many Vaishnavas gather together for some particular occasion and the Madhyamadikari Grihastha Bhakta wants to honor them by distributing the Bhagavad Prasad. However, it is not good to make a pompous display of serving Vaishnavas, for then this activity will become adulterated with the mode of passion. One should distribute prasad to the assembled Vaishnavas with great care and attention. This is one's duty. If one wishes to serve the Vaishnavas in this way, he should only invite pure Vaishnavas. So what is most important is the consciousness, not just the activity. So as the saying goes, it is not so important what you do, but how you do. So the motive should be pure. Not that, okay, I will make a festival, or we'll have a festival in Vaishnavas and serve the Vaishnavas. And then that is glorifying himself. And showing how he is doing this seva. So one should serve Hari Guru Vaishnava, but in a humble way, not expecting anything in return. So not expecting any honor. So one should always be humble. Humbly engaged in the service of Hari Guru Vaishnava. And so one may hold a festival for the pleasure of the Lord. And then to please the Vaishnavas, but not expecting anything in return. And so not even so subtly, because one thing, so sometimes devotees may do some seva and expecting to be remunerated or expecting that Krishna will bless them so they may be nicely situated in this material world. But the devotee is never begging for these external things, but he wants to simply be engaged in pure devotional service. That is his desire. Nityananda Das. A new caste has emerged in Banga, in Baragachi, consisting of people who refer to themselves as descendants of Vaishnavas. Kanishtadikari householders invite them and feed them in the name of Vaishnava Seva. How is this to be viewed? Babaji, how these descendants of Vaishnavas take up Shuddha Bhakti? Nityananda Das. I don't see Shuddha Bhakti in any of them. They only call themselves Vaishnavas. Some of them wear kopin, loincloth. Babaji, I cannot say why is this type of practice. I cannot say why is this type of practice in vogue. It should not be done. I can only surmise that it is gone because Kanishta Vaishnavas have no ability to recognize who is a true Vaishnava. So that is natural in this world, that sometimes the descendants of the Vaishnavas, they feel themselves as Vaishnavas also, although they may not be engaged in pure devotional service. So usually a neophyte devotee will think, I'm a Vaishnava, I'm nicely serving the deities, the devotees. And so he thinks even many times himself superior than others. Whereas a true Vaishnava, he will not say, I'm a Vaishnava. He will say, I'm trying to become a Vaishnava. And so he's sincerely serving Hari Guru Vaishnava in a very humble way. So this is a Vaishnava. Nityananda Das, do the descendants of Vaishnavas deserve any special regard? Babaji, honor is due for those who are actually Vaishnavas. If the descendants of Vaishnavas are pure Vaishnavas, they should be honored in proportion to their advancement in bhakti. Nityananda, what if the descendant of a Vaishnava is only worldly man? Then he should be considered as a worldly man and not as a Vaishnava. He should not be honored as a Vaishnava. One should always remember the instruction given by Shriman Mahaprabhu. Trinadapi sunichena tarorapi sahishnuna mani namadanena kirtaniya sadahari. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Ramo, Ramo Ramo, Hare Hare. So that is a Vaishnava. He's humble, tolerant, respectful, and always chanting the holy name. So he's pure. So very simple. Somebody may be, so to say, Brijbasi, somebody may be born in a Vaishnava family. So he's a pure devotee who is engaged in pure devotional service. He is acting in an ordinary way, just like a worldly man, then is to be accepted as such also. So we have to be clear. One can chant Sri Nam in a humble state of mind, thinking himself more insignificant than the straw in the street and more tolerant than the tree. One should be devoid of all sense of false prestige and ready to offer all respects to others. In such a state of mind, one can chant Sri Harinam constantly. One should be free from pride and should offer appropriate respect to others. One should offer Vaishnavas the respect due to a Vaishnava, and he should offer those who are not Vaishnavas the respect that befits any human being. If one does not offer respect to others, he doesn't acquire the necessary qualification to chant Sri Harinam. So to be very respectful is very important. And so one should respect all the Vaishnavas. There are 4 Vaishnava Sampradayas and they should be respected. That Bhaktisiddhanta Prabhupada himself established. on the occasion of Vyasa Puja celebration, celebrating Vyasa Dev, or so, or so on Guru Purnima, or when the Acharya or his spiritual master is appearing, which is also known as Vyasa Puja because he is a representative of Vyasa Dev. So that day then the other acharyas may be respected that actually Bhakti Siddhanta Prabhupada established. Once acharya, once spiritual masters, they should be respected. The four acharyas of the four sampradayas, Vyasadeva and his disciples, the four Kumaras and so anyone who is then a good human being, he should be respected. So that is sometimes lacking that we can see. So, but that is then a symptom of a Kanishtadikari. He cannot respect others. He does not know who is who and what is what. But a true Vaishnav, a true Madhyamadikari, so he will respect all. So even he will respect, and so any human being, and even he will respect the animals, seeing them as all servants of Krishna or Vishnu, seeing the soul, not just the body. How can one be free from pride? Babaji, one should proudly think I'm a Brahman, I'm wealthy, I'm a learned scholar, I'm a Vaishnava, or I have renounced family life. People may well offer respects because one has such qualities, but one should not want to be honored by others out of such egoistic pride. One should always think oneself to be worthless, insignificant, destitute, and lower than a blade of grass. So that is an important characteristic of a Vaishnava, his humility. I am insignificant. I am an eternal servant of Krishna, but I am insignificant. I am trying to be a Vaishnava. So therefore he will offer respect to all. Nityananda, it seems from this that one cannot be a Vaishnava without humility and compassion. Babaji, this is quite true. So Vaishnava is naturally humble and compassionate. He will try to help others. Babaji, so that is quite true, Nityananda. Then does Bhakti Devi depend on humility and compassion? Babaji, no, Bhakti is completely independent. Bhakti is a personification of beauty and she is the supreme ornament. She does not depend on any other good quality. Humility and compassion are not separate qualities but are included within Bhakti. I am a servant of Krishna, I am destitute, I have nothing. Krishna is my all in all. The bhakti that is expressed in these attitudes is itself humility. So, simply trying to be humble or compassionate. So that is, of course, a good quality. This is This is required, but bhakti has to be there. Bhakti for the pleasure of Krishna, with any ulterior motive. So, because sometimes also humility may be there, or one will, but then one will express that. But that should not be done. One should be naturally humble. So, but then and then automatically compassion will be there. And one will try to give the knowledge to others that one has the realizations. One will give prasadam to others. So especially, as Vaishnavas, and then of course, so we distribute the holy names to others, we give knowledge to others, and also we distribute prasadam to others. So without ulterior motive, for the pleasure of the Lord, for the pleasure of the acharyas. So bhakti is independent, not dependent on jnana and vairagya. So to speak of course, then humility and compassion, that is a characteristic of a Vaishnava. But Bhakti Devi does not depend on that. Bhakti Devi does not depend on anything. Bhakti Devi is independent. Bhakti means pure devotional service to Krishna. Which is ultimately also inherent in the heart of the jiva, pure bhakti. But it has to be manifested by engaging in devotional service. And then eventually it will manifest pure bhakti. So simply one has to try to serve Krishna, Hari Guru Vaishnava, and then tolerate one's situation of being not able to completely surrender. But by doing, eventually it will be there. So danya, humility has to be there. I'm servant of Krishna. I'm destitute. I'm helpless. I have nothing. Krishna is my all in all. So this is humility. Tenderness of heart experienced towards Krishna is known as bhakti. So it is mentioned that the heart of a devotee is very soft. A hard-hearted person, he will not have bhakti. But his heart is very soft. And compassion is there. Trying to help others by giving prasad, by giving knowledge, by so the Vaishnava who has Nam Ruchi. So Nam Ruchi, Vaishnava Seva, Jiva Doya. So he will serve the Vaishnavas, he will serve Hari Guru Vaishnava. And Doya, he will be compassionate, he will give this knowledge to others. He will give bhakti to others, he will give the holy names to others. So the devotee's heart is very soft, compassionate. All other jivas are servants of Krishna, and their tenderness of heart towards them is compassion, daya. Therefore, compassion is included within bhakti. So, bhakti is independent, and so humility and compassion is included in bhakti. It is a symptom of bhakti, pure bhakti, uttam bhakti, pure Ruksha service. Krishna is Satya, real. Satya may mean truth also. The fact that the jivas are servants of Krishna is also real. And as is the fact that the material world is only a boarding house for the jiva. So Krishna, of course, is real. Krishna is the absolute truth. Param Satya. He is the Supreme Lord, Parameshwar, Bhagavan, Swayam Bhagavan. And then some other symptoms are there in a pure Vaishnava. So that is explained also. How many symptoms are there characteristic of a pure Vaishnava? Yeah, 26 qualities of a devotee. 26. Most important, Krishnaika Sharanam. Fully surrendered to Krishna. So then when bhakti is there, then other qualities will manifest also. Is humble, tolerant, compassionate, controlling mind and senses, speaking the truth. So that will manifest automatically. So Krishna is the absolute truth. Param Satya. Vastav Vastu, the real object is Krishna. He is the Lord of our life, Prananath. And the jivas are, of course, the jivas are also real, those who are on the spiritual platform. That is real life, the spiritual platform. I'm the servant of Krishna. And then serving Krishna to one's best ability, capacity. So the material world is only boarding house for the jiva. Boarding house means a place where one is staying for a little while. Like even in school, so college and the higher classes, so young people, men or women, they stay in a boarding house. They're not staying at home. Because the college is far away, 2-3 hours, so they don't want to go every day up and down. So they have facility many times, a boarding house, where they can stay, as long as they're in the college. Of course they have to pay something, but then they can stay and they can get some food also. So our situation is temporary. We're in a boarding house for some years living in this body. But we belong to the spiritual world. Or also, so this existence in this material body is temporary. It will be only for some time. And then a new body will be there. So a new boarding house will be there. That means the bhakti is also real because these truths are based on the jiva's relationship with Krishna, which is itself bhakti. Truth, humility, compassion, forgiveness are 4 special qualities that are included in bhakti. Truth, the devotee is truthful. Satyavak, always speaking the truth. humility, compassion and forgiveness. So he's compassionate and he's forgiving others. If somebody has made a mistake, so the Vaishnava is always ready to forgive. So that is a symptom of the Vaishnava. Nityananda Das, how should a Vaishnava behave towards the followers of other religion? The instruction of Srimad Bhagavatam, Babaji is saying, Narayana Kala Santa Bhajanti Anu Suyavaha. Those who are free from the propensity to slander others and who are fully peaceful worship Sri Narayan and his explanatory potions. Anasuyava. So that means non-envious. So they will not criticize others. They are respecting Narayan and they are respecting also the expansions of Narayan. Of course, our prananath is Krishna, the Lord of our life. But then we respect all others also. There is no dharma other than Vaishnava dharma. All other dharmas that are will be propagated in the world are either steps on the staircase of Vaishnava dharma or else distortions of it. Those dharmas that are steps leading to bhakti should be respected in proportion to the degree of purity. One should not bear any malice towards dharma that are distortions of bhakti, but one should focus exclusively on the cultivation of one's own devotional truth. So, ultimately only one Vaishnava, one Dharma is there, Vaishnava Dharma, Sanatana Dharma, Jaiva Dharma. Dharma means actually service to Krishna. And that is Vaishnava Dharma, service to Krishna. Those dharmas that are steps leading to bhakti should be respected in proportion to their degree of purity. Flower wala is supposed to come, huh? One should not bear any malice towards dharmas that are distortions of bhakti, but one should focus exclusively on the cultivation of one's own devotional truth. So we should recognize Vastav Dharma, real Dharma, but one should not be proud that I'm only one who knows what is Dharma, I'm only one who is doing Dharma. And all others, they are bogus. Only we are real. Others, they are bogus. So that we should not have this mentality, that we are the only one, we are the chosen one. And everyone else is bogus, like the Christians. So that we have seen some fanatic Christians, but there are good Christians also, but some. Jesus is the only way. There's no other way that we can attain God, only through Jesus. So that we have seen fanatics also. One time I was in New York doing Harinam with devotees, and some born-again Christians were there, Christians. And they were saying, Jesus is the only way, everyone else is bogus. Look at these people there with their funny clothes and singing something. They are bogus people. So, but we just continue chanting Hare Krishna. So, but then at the same time, we should not think, my Guru is the only one, my Guru is the best. Okay, we should think that my Guru is exalted, but then we should not be disrespectful towards others. That only my Guru, only if one is Even sometimes we hear only Prabhupada, only through Prabhupada you can attain perfection. Prabhupada was empowered by Mahaprabhu. Even sometimes they say, never was there anyone like Prabhupada before. Never will be anyone like Prabhupada in the future. But we should not say like this. We respect Prabhupada as a great Acharya, and he has done so much. By his mercy we are here. But we cannot say that there was none like Prabhupada in the before. Like, we cannot say that Prabhupada is greater than his spiritual master, that is greater than Bhaktivinoda Thakur, that is greater than Rupa Goswami. But sometimes we hear, but that we should not do like this. So we have also heard sometimes.
In future, there will be more persons.
Now, of course, acharyas will come in the future also. Of course, the thing is that actually, in the future, maybe, we may say, none may be as powerful as Prabhupada, but we cannot see from the past. Because you can see, like, we cannot, sometimes the devotee, they may do a lot of seva, like Prabhupada had 10,000 disciples, and then Jayapataka had 50,000 disciples, 60, 70,000. But we cannot say that Jayapataka is superior than Prabhupada. No. So similarly, we cannot say that Prabhupada or the present acharyas, they are greater than Rupa Goswami. But sometimes some things like that are said. But so that we should actually not say, we should recognize all of the Vaishnavas. And we are known as Rupanuga Vaishnavas, followers of Rupa Goswami. And we should be humble, tolerant, respectful. Even when one is not in our line, from the other sampradayas. We are most fortunate to be in that sampradaya, and Mahaprabhu has given the highest understanding of Braj Bhakti, Parakya Bhava of Radha and Krishna, so we are most fortunate. But we should then be humble and not think that we are better than others. We may be better, but we should remain humble. And we should think we are fortunate by mercy of Sri Guru. We are able to do bhakti. We are fortunate to be in that sampradaya. But we should not look down upon others or criticize and slander others. So that is mentioned here. When the time is right, the followers of various other dharmas will become Vaishnavas easily. Of this there is no doubt. Nityananda. It is our duty to preach Vaishnava Dharma or not. Babaji, certainly it is. Our Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu has given everyone the responsibility of spreading this Dharma. So Adilila, Nacho, Gao, Bhakta Sanghe Kara Sankirtan, Krishna Nama Upadeshi Tarvasar, Tarasarvajan. Dancing and perform Sankirtan in the association of Bhaktas. You should deliver everyone by instructing them to chant Sri Krishna Nam. Yara dekata ka Krishna Padesh, Amara Gyaya Guru Hanatarai Desh. Whoever you meet, you're instructing about Krishna, about Krishna's instructions from Bhagavad Gita. Also another verse is there from Chaitanya Chaitamrita. What is it? Paropakar. Bharat Bhumite Haila Manusya Janma Jara. Janma Sataka Kari Kari Para Upakar. So when we have obtained the human form of life, we should try to become perfect. And then we should do paropakar, we should do welfare work for others. Means spiritual welfare, giving them Krishna consciousness, helping them to become Krishna conscious. Ateva am yagya dilona sabakare, jaha taha prema fal deha yare tare. Therefore I am ordering everyone to distribute the fruits of prema. wherever they go and to whomever they meet. So Mahaprabhu is instructing his devotees. However, one must remember not to give Sri Krishna Nam to unqualified people. So that is the ninth offense. Ninth offense? Pradeep? Okay. To instruct the faceless persons. Such people should first be given the necessary qualification, and only then can they be given Harinam. Furthermore, the statements of Sriman Mahaprabhu do not apply when neglect is appropriate. For instance, when dealing with inimical people. So if somebody is atheistic, we should avoid that person. Trying to enlighten such people only presents obstacles to one's preaching. When Nityananda Das had heard Haridas Babaji Mahaprabhu's ambrosial words, he rolled on the ground at his feet in great love. The grove reverberated with the Vaishnava's loud exclamation of Sri Harinam, and everyone offered Dandavat Pranam to Babaji Mahashai. And the day's meeting in that secluded grove came to an end, and everyone returned to their respective places. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Jai.